Hi, it's Joshua coming to you from somewhere in Edmonton, Alberta. I've been here for the past 6 months. I've been renovating this garage. I built all the shelves and the ceiling truss and did work in the house and other additions here. Anyway, this video has to do with the relocation platforms that the Lord gave to me 2 years ago about this time. And what I have before you are the interlocking floor system. I'm actually going to have this is the top, bottom, the interlocks will actually go in between. I have a 1/2-inch styrofoam that's symbolic of 2 inches of styrofoam, and the surface area from here to here, or point to point, it'd be about 8 feet. From here to here, it'd be about 7 feet. So you actually have about 48 square feet of a hexagonal platform. And basically, you'll take, on this particular model, I'm going to make 19 of these for the base. That's just under 1,000 square feet. That'll be interlocking, and each one will have a leg that will come out. That'll be adjustable, so you can actually make an adjustable platform anywhere you want to set up these cabins. But the name of these cabins, I don't have the nameplate for it. I will have on my next presentation, are Tribulation cabins. And the reason for the name Tribulation is that I believe that we're already in the first in the first 7 years of the time of Jacob's troubles. That the time of Jacob's troubles actually began in September of 2008. And if you go to the Watchman's Cry on Nathan Leal's podcast, you can go to him and you can get the update on that. So you got the floor system that will go together. This basically cabin model will be the basic cabin model itself will be 24 square feet, foot diameter across, or 12 feet out from center, and that works out to 432 foot if the walls are 6-sided. But on this particular model, I decided to make the cabin models 12-sided, so each one of the walls, you can see the taper in this is 30 degrees. This is the outside of the wall. In each one of the walls would be around 79 inches, or 6.5 feet, and 8 feet high, and 84 inches high. So your walls will actually interlock somewhat like this. So what I'm going to do here on the next presentation, all these pieces will be all put together, and this will represent the outside. I'm using a 6-ply or a 5-ply mat board for the outside, and I'm also going to put a mat board on the inside. And once I get all the pieces basically made, I'm going to take a picture of the 2x6 knotty pine exterior that the knotty pine cabins use here in Edmonton. There's actually a company here in Edmonton that makes cabin models, but I've going to build a cabin model that's more or less geometric, that's also expandable. And so there'd be 12 of these walls that would go around a 490 square foot base. If you go from a 6-sided model, that represents 432 square feet. If you go to 12-sided, it kind of bumps it out a little bit to 490 square feet. And so these panels will be set on a base. The floor will actually be expanded about 422 square feet beyond the exterior, and that will allow a 4-foot outer perimeter porch with 6 little pop-outs, and you'll see this on the what I'm talking about on the next design. I'll have a layout for it. And what I'd like to kind of focus on now is the interlock system. I have another 6-ply mat board that I'm going to use for the interlock or the meat in the sandwich. So the floor system will be basically be like this. This will be made out of 5/8 fir plywood, and it'll take one sheet of plywood to make two of these hexagonals, and in between will be a heavier 7/8 stock, maybe a marine grade plywood, and on 3 points from here, here, and here, you would actually get like a little interlock, a little tab that would come out, and this will allow the floor sections to actually interlock together. My interlocks, it took a little bit to design. It had to be, use a compass and protractor. So the accuracy is probably about 95%, and that's about as close as you can get, you know, without going to a computer model. But the basic premise of making these Tribulation cabins is that at the end of these first 7 years of Jacob's troubles, we're coming into the time of, I believe, of the 7 years of Great Tribulation, that the remnant's going to have, going to need a place to stay outside of the system. And that's what this is all it's about. I'm hoping to come back to Edmonton in 5 weeks or 6 weeks, and I'd like to do my first debut at the farmers market at the Capitol Mall around the first or second week in August of this year. Any questions or comments, you can get back to me, but I believe we're at that point now that we're going to have to not just prepare in our hearts spiritually, and to come to a place where we overcome fear by coming to the place of love, of the love of God. We have to also prepare physically to endure and to ride out the storms, these 7 years of tribulations that we're coming into. Back in 1988, the Lord showed me He gave me 7 open visions of the total destruction of the west coast of North America. And I believe that next year, at this time, that this will come to pass. So this leaves a very short space of time to prepare. So we're getting this out to the remnant. It's not for the world. Maybe these cabins can be made for the world, but it's not for the world. It's for the first fruits of the Lord. And, you know, according to Isaiah, and that God's going to have a first fruits, and that will be the down payment to bring in a harvest. Okay, I'm going to cut it here. This is Joshua coming to you from Edmonton, Alberta.